it's mainly like a strategic point of view rather than direct patient facing point of view. That is the biggest difference in my post. Apart from my work in my free time, myself and my wife run like various like a Tamil language classes and cultural classes and other things, as well as like supporting the community. From other point of view, like conflict of interest point of view, I too run some in my free time, run like false assessment made easy classes for people who are asking for that one. And then I will move. So about today's presentation, there are plenty of presentations and conference about false management, but there is a next slide, please. Raj, next slide, please. But there is a Raj, would you be able to move to next slide, please? Yeah. But there is very few presentation about like a leadership point of view or like as well as a strategic point of view. So in this presentation, I start from how like a concept creates in a boardroom. Are you able to move the slide, Raj?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, please. Yeah. So how it starts from an executive, like a high level executive level, then coming to planning level and implementation, that is from a managerial level in various level of managers, like team leaders and a training point of view. Then come to the frontline staff who deliver the service to the service user and how it reaches service user point of view. So I will cover from strategic and leadership point of view, and I will on the way I will give you like examples and some clues and tips and secrets of the trade for everyone. So it will be covering from top to bottom point of view. Next slide, please. So this is all some of the terminology because there's various people are here from various organizations, patient, residents, service user, customer, everything means the same. I might be using this all the terminology in interchangeable. It's all means the same one. Next, please. So from a wider point of view, vision point of view, our Sunderland City Council delivered like a city plan 2020-2030, and the wider level vision is like a internationally well-connected city with opportunities for everyone and no one left behind. In that, there's like a three principles. One is like a smart, well-connected city. Second one, a healthy city, and another one is vibrant city. My work plan, everything sit in that second one, that healthy city on the top circled one about like promoting health and inequality. There are like various strategies there. It's all looks like not connected to each other, but all are interconnected. We all work towards a big goal of achieving that thing. So that's one. And nationally, we all know about that NHS 10-year plan, preventative offer, bringing it closer to the community, and digital. So these are the two main guiding vision and principle for our fall strategy. Next, please. So what happened is when they delivered this one, they noticed in that healthy city plan, the falls rate is very high. In 2020-21, we had the second highest falls rate in England. So they want to address this, especially our deputy director and the public health officer. They both fought together, work together and created newly designed that post. Once I joined, this is the one. This is your work plan. You support us, deliver that one. So previously I was from a clinical background. I'm suddenly moving to stepping up to a strategy. I never expected it, but I need to understand why this is high and what are the challenges we are facing, how we are going to tackle that. Then I started doing my groundwork and finding that background issues, what's going on. So next slide, please. So what I found was local challenges, that is health inequality. The first one on the left, it indicates like that healthy life expectancy. When I compare to England, the Sunderland's life expectancy is very low. Then is healthy life expectancy. Very rarely when you work in health, like a health service, NHS, you could have heard about this terminology. Healthy life expectancy means till what age people are living healthier and independent and able to self-manage. So like England, you can see that 62 and ours are 50, 55, that is 6. Our people living in Sunderland are becoming older and frailer in very young age. That means an adult spending 30% of their lifetime with poor health with multiple comorbidity. So these are the biggest challenges I have to address that one. Then IMD result about that like a wealth inequality. So it says like out of in England, it's 20th most deprived area, and neighborhood 28% of the neighborhood has like a highly deprived. That means like 22% of the population above 65 lives in poverty. That leads to like a very huge health and wealth inequality. If I take two postcodes, sometimes it might be only half a miles away, very highly affluent area, and the least affluent area are like that deprived area. People who live in deprived area will die 11 years younger. So that much one. So that is the current problem. The other one we need to consider is if you are in like a decision making one, if you are working in outpatient, sometimes there is a policy like if two CNAs strike out or like a DNA strike out, we need to think carefully. These people are very vulnerable people. They are unable to attend CNA because they have to depend on some other or like a very comorbid. That might be the CNA and lots of DNA. But if we see immediately discharge them because they didn't show up, we are making them more vulnerable and like we are denying that opportunity. So in that case, if you're in a decision making skills, we need to find a way how we can bring the care closer to home, how we can reach them. That one really decision makers need to think about. Then not only when we create like a big vision and a strategy, we need to think about how it's going to look in the future. Next slide, please. When we looked at the statistics for 2030, it says like a 20% or 22% of the population is going to be above 65 because we are going to get much older people in these things. And the pension and like a working age dependency rate, if we see, that is very high as well. So technically in future, where we get funding or like that is also going to be like a severely compromised, as well as like a 20% of the people is going to be above 70. This are all the challenges. It's not going to go away. We have to find a solution. We have to upskill our staff in a massive level to prepare for the future, to tackle this head on and make significant improvement. So this is from health and demographic point of view. Then I need to think in a delivery point of view, like a frontline staff, what are the challenges? Next one, please. So the first fear for most of the people hearing the word false or nice guidelines 249 or quality standards 86, that itself create a fear and cause become like a reactive service. I'm not a false therapist. I'm not a specialist. I don't have competency. This all the words comes out because of the fear. I will tell only one thing. No one in this world born as a specialist. We all acquired the skill, continuously practicing and upskilling, and become false. So anyone can become a false therapist if you provide the correct support. The other biggest challenge is there are training available for inpatient people like a EFL and other big sites providing training. But when you look at the community, there is no specialist false training available specific for community. So that is the biggest challenges. So even though I found this many big, lots and lots of challenges, I found only two opportunities. One, everyone working in the Sunderland, no matter which organization they are working for, they want to change the trend and do something for the people of Sunderland. Then another thing, lots of people going to disagree. We all do false assessment as a part of our assessment, but we don't realize our own strength. I will explain how in the later slide. So you have to watch carefully, otherwise you might miss it, the trick. Next one, please. So then we looked at it, either if you take Scottish guideline or the new NICE guideline, it's clearly stated false prevention is everyone's responsibility, every team's and every individual. It's not specific for one health professionals or one team. So that is the key, one of the things we took for our fall strategy. Next one, please. So deriving that, keeping it everything in mind, we set our own, out of that bigger vision of that council, we created our own vision and strategy for the falls. So our vision is like a falls prevention, everyone's business. We can all make a difference. And we created our strategy like a training and development, empowering and enabling people, multi-agency falls group, assessment, every contact count, data-driven and shared decision making, and the exercise software and technology. This all the like strategy to achieve our vision. So I will talk about some key strategies and what all the challenges we face and how we are overcoming it. Next, please. So we created our multi-agency falls group from like a public health, that is like a local authority or council, in patient services and everything. These are some of the things I work with everyone. Everyone from different team has their own priorities and everything. So as a coordinator, I have to bring everyone together and work towards a common goal and achieving the target of like a healthy city as well as the false one. So this is the challenges. So this is some of the people, and I work even outside site services and various other organizations bringing together. So that is the challenge and interesting part of my work, working with all and bringing all together. Yes, please. Next one, please. Then, so this is our fall strategy. You can all access like online, like if you search for like a Sunderland fall strategy, you can easily get a copy of it. So it's everyone business. So we bring a triangular shape or like a pyramid model. So we are creating a level 1 assessment. That is, even the person can itself, or with some technology, they can do their own assessment, online assessment. After two and a half years of struggle and repeatedly trying, I got the funding today, just confirmed today. So next month, that online our assessment tool will be there, so that people can assess their own risk. So it will initially guide them what they can do from their point of view, and if they need further support, whom to contact, how to contact, that will solve from the baseline point of view. Then second level, all health and care professionals, including social workers, we provide training to do like a simple false assessment and making it care closer to home. Every contact counts, and making like a putting plan in place to minimize the risk. And beyond that, if it's more complex, then it goes to that already established false clinic run by the NHS here. Next, please. So then going to here is the one places I'm going to give you lots of tips for everyone. False awareness training. So that is the key one, upskilling the staff and preparing everyone. So I provide false awareness training in 3 different forms. So health and social healthcare professional, I provide a separate training. So the only criteria to assess is all the training is free of charge. Only criteria is no matter what grade or what profession, they have to base and work in Sunderland, then they can access the training. Then for care home, I provided a separate training for them. And for social workers also, we are developing a specific training called aging well, living well training screening tool. So we are providing that. What the difference is, whenever I am speaking to that, I slightly make changes. I tailor-made the examples and everything to them. So this many staff so far we have trained in the time. So the training is like almost 5 hours approximately. I maximum train 15 people with multiple 3 or 4 practical sessions and a case study. It's like a storytelling rather than from a medical point of view. I provide the training from patient perspective, what they feel, how they answer, how to ask question, how to infer that information, and how to cross check it, how to prepare, where we can save time, where I need to invest more time and other things, and where to say, when to say, and everything like that. I will cover it specifically. Next slide, please. So the first training, I will make sure they understand that falls is a symptom, not a diagnosis. We all know that, but if you go back and open any of your system you use, either EMS or whatever, and if you see past medical history, falls will be written as a diagnosis, a past medical problem. But falls is just a symptom. If a fall's happening, means it might be related to some undiagnosed or unrelated underlying health conditions. Unless we identify that, we are not going to tackle that falls. Because we are concentrating on falls and a symptom, that is the reason we are unable to find the solution and struggling. So this is the first point I explain to the people. So if a falls happen, don't go behind the fall, go for the reason, cause. So that is the first key point. I do it in the training, I explain to that one. Next one, please. So why comprehensive or multi-factor risk assessment? There, as I said, this falls is a symptom. There are minimum 400 reasons for a fall. So we can only identify that exact problem by providing comprehensive assessment. Next one, please. So next one, please. The other thing, when I do the training, is I will also explain that strategy, how it's coming, so that even the people who deliver knows how valuable role they are playing to achieve that high that vision, so that they know from that first itself, they know how valuable work they are doing it, how it's improving that city and people of Sunderland. Then this is the NICE guideline recommended minimum requirement to class it as a comprehensive fall assessment. When I show this, people suddenly ask, I don't have time to do this. It's too complex. How can we do this? These are all the questions that will come. So this is the same fear factor. It came to me when I came to that falls clinic, maybe 15 years ago. That time, what I did was, I have to do my own SWOT analysis to understand what is my strength, where is my weakness, where I have to develop. Then I simply compared the comprehensive falls assessment with my existing assessment. Next slide, please. Just one click. Yes, yeah. So when I compare that one, what I noticed was that red arrows you are seeing is that is the only thing missing from my existing assessment. So now you can use your reaction button. Whenever I say, if you are using that in your assessment, you can give a thumbs up. We all check visual in our current assessment. Yes? Yeah? If you check vision, yes. Yeah. We think, we check about hearing. Yeah? We collect past medical history. That is that long-term conditions and neurological issue. We do that one. Yeah? We do the gait and functional ability. Sometimes nurses and other people say, I don't check gait. But I say, right, we do sometimes some of the things subconsciously. We see when we don't see people in the community, how they come to open the door. Are they huffing and puffing? Are they able to stand from that? That is the functional assessment. But we don't realize our one. Yeah, we check foot conditions and other things. We check how much they are drinking, eating. We check cognition and any other anxiety, other issues. We ask about alcohol and smoking. Yeah. So if I look at this way, next one, please. So even in our regular assessment, it covers 72% of our false assessment, what recommended by the NICE guidelines. Yeah. So we are all doing it. So this is our strength. Then osteoporosis assessment, we can easily do it. We already collect people's height and weight and how much they smoke, how much they drink. We have that secondary osteoporosis risk. We have the past medical history. Only couple of extra questions need to ask. Are they taking any steroids? Or do any of their parents had a hip fracture? With that one, easily we can collect osteoporosis risk assessment. If I do that one, it's immediately jump to 76%. We all do lying like a blood pressure in our work. So if we add simply the technique of doing like a lying standing blood pressure, we can easily do lying and standing blood pressure. The percentage increased to 85%. Now, false history, that's a simple trick I'm going to tell you that will solve most of the problem, that suddenly it will become 90%. So easily we can upskill ourselves. If we see this way, we can easily make our existing assessment good quality, false assessment. So in our training, what I do is each and everything I will go through how to ask, how the person tell us. Sometimes they will say yes, but it might not be the right answer. Sometimes if I ask if a person, can you see? They will say yes, but technically they might not see. I will explain that in a different last slide. Yeah, so I will give them various techniques, how to ask things, when to. So simply making some modification without any extra time, we can easily convert our regular assessment into a comprehensive false assessment. Next one, please. So false history taking, most of the people use that SPLAT technique. So S means symptom, P for previous numbers of fall, but in a practical sense, that past falls come first, and location where the falls happen, activity, what they were doing at the time of fall, additional information is that lighting, are they using a walking aid, like any that type of additional question. Time when that falls happen, how long they were on the floor, what trauma. If I ask one fall at a time, usually I start with that recent fall and go backward. If I go that way, I can see some pattern emerging. Even if I resolve that one pattern emerging, I can easily prevent 50% of the falls in that person. If we take a good false history, 80% of my false assessment done there and then. So the remaining 20%, I have to go through to rule in and rule out and cross check. So makes my assessment, everyone's assessment, much easier. So this is the technique I teach to my people who coming for the training. Give a try, you'll really find very beneficial. Next one, please. Then when we do a complex frailty assessment or false assessment, you will easily come with 12 or 15 problems list. That makes people daunting. How I'm going to resolve this many problems? So I make again some simple. What I do is I'll go through the false list, that identified problem list. I split it into two. What all the problems are modifiable? What all the problems are not modifiable? Then I will park that non-modifiable to somewhere else and only concentrate on modifiable. Then I think what I can modify or where I need to, it's a modifiable, but by someone else. Then I will concentrate on one at a time. Then once we resolve it, make it easy. For example, if a person having a muscle weakness, as a physiotherapist, I can resolve it by giving exercises. So I deal that one. The next one, if I move it, if a person, have you had an eye test done? No, I cannot resolve it, but I can refer them to an optician. Yeah, so that way. Then I will start this one. Then I will go into the non-modifiable. Even though it's non-modifiable, it's manageable. For example, if a person is having a poor eyesight on left side, it's not correctable, but it's manageable. If it's in a care home, I can how to set up the room for them, how to approach that person when we giving care. By that way, we can make it much more easier. Yeah, that's the way I go through. Then easily we can solve. I will give an example later how one of the trainee managed this one. Next one, please. Then we encourage about shared decision making and giving the people, a service user or the patient, the empowerment, explaining things easily and making them involved to make their own decision, which is right for them, and we support them. That makes significant long-term benefit and adherence to our care plan, whatever we provide. So if you take any nice guidelines now, it will always recently it's always start with shared decision making. Next one, please. This is one of the assessment done by the person who came for the training. This person, when they came for the training, they were just 6 months into their career after completing the course, physiotherapy course. So they're a very fresh person. So when they came to the training, they were just 6 months in their physiotherapy career. When they did this assessment after the training, it's within 2 months. That is within 8 months of the career. So you can see how comprehensively they identified all the problems and they cross-linked. For example, that problem 1 and problem 14 cross matches. Then they put this much extensive plan and put a plan in place. Actually, this person came for an assessment bed in plan of going into a supported living facility. By providing this assessment, we were able to resolve all the problems, were able to send him back to his own residence with a minimal care package, and he is living well without any issues now. Next one, please. So this is some of the feedback came from that after the false training, how it's empowered them, how it's give them the tool to easily manage, easily adapt and enhance their practice, as well as to uplift their assessment. Next one, please. Apart from that, we provide like a bite-sized training during the false awareness week. So these trainings are like one component of the false assessment. It's like maximum 30 minutes to 45 minutes training session. We provide and we collect data. We already did that false like a walking aid quick check, as well as like a vision screening. And this year we did about home screening, home hazard screening, which made like a significant improvement. After this, they realized even just 30 minutes training made my significant improvement, and lots of people came back for a full training, for that 5 hours training. Next one, please. So this is the one I said about the vision earlier. So the vision screening outcome, 30% of that data collected said like they never went for an eye test. So we all signpost them how to do that one. So that significantly minimize that false risk and improve their health and quality. Then 46% of the people, when we asked the question in a correct way, said they have some problem with their vision. The last one is a very interesting one. 8% of the population, that sample size, said they cannot see either with one or both eye. Then interestingly, one of my that trainee person went to a care home and started doing assessment for one person in a care home. That leads to 30 people in that care home. They noticed they never had an eye test for the last 2 years, then end up with that one. So it made a significant improvement, and they were very happy how much it's improved that patient's care and they improved their practice. Next one, please. And this are some of the feedback you can see from the people who attended the training and the vision. It's make that especially the first one about the extra care facility manager, how it's improved their care and the support they're giving to the patients, the residents. Yes, please. Next one, please. Then support like that prevention offer. we do that strength and imbalance exercise classes. So after I came, we reviewed all the exercise classes happening in the community, and we choose some four providers, and we trained them with the Otego evidence-based program, and we streamlined that standardized outcome measures. We set up like a Power BI tool to analyze the data and understand what's happening, how quality the service are going, as well as I do regular visits to quality check visits to make sure that all the exercise classes are running up to the standard what we are expecting, and provide the support to the providers as well. Next one, please. So this is some of the inclusion criteria, because this all happening in the community, not by healthcare professionals, but exercise providers. So we have a clear like inclusion and exclusion criteria. Next one, please, exclusion criteria, so that we can safeguard the people who come for the training as well as the providers. Next one, please. So this is some of the exclusion criteria, and we have plan if they are below the level of attending the exercise classes, we will signpost them to the correct lower level classes. If they are above the exercise limit, then we'll send them to the higher level classes. The people who went to the lower level classes, once they achieve certain standards, then we will next cohort, we will bring them to the strength and balance, and we provide that service. Next one, please. Because we have that lots of health inequality and wealth inequality, we added some education sessions. We provide this various education sessions. Because of the wealth inequality, we also added some things about like money matters, as well as loan shark identification, and where to support, ask for support and other things. So these are some of the trainings we provide for the service like patients who like come to the classes. Next one, please. So this is the outcome we use. Like you can see, like a time up and go test, time reduced by almost literally 4 seconds pre-test and post-test. So that means they significantly their walking speed increases. They means their balance improved. Then 4-point balance test, they were able to stand 7 seconds longer. That means their balance is improving. Then we do the 30-second sit to stand. That means they are able to technically do 3.4 stands extra. That means their quadriceps strength is improving. And the FESI gate like assessment by 5 points reducing means their fear of falling is reducing, and their confidence level is improving. Then when we analyzed with the Power BI, what we noticed was that whoever completed the course, 95% of the people made progress, positive progress in at least 3 outcome, like a 2 or more outcome measures, and 100% of the people who completed made at least one improvement in at least one outcome measure. Of course, you can see some negatives, because the people we are working are like a frail and older people. Their health changes a lot. So that's the reason. But overall, it's a significant positive result. Next one, please. And we need to prevent like a long lie. For example, one of the research says, if a person on the floor for more than an hour, even without any injury, 50% of them will die within 6 months, and remaining 50% who survive, they live with poor health, because that fear of fall set in. They sit longer and they become frailer more. So we provide some like advice how to manage if they can get up, what to do if they cannot get up. Nowadays, there's plenty of tech coming. You can use like Alexa and other things strategically putting in place. They can voice control and ring. Sometimes when we have that health and wealth inequality, they might not have an internet service or something like that. So then we need to think outside of the box. Some people think like immediately will think like a pendant alarm, but some people have like spending 6 pounds a week is a very big expenses, because they can eat or they have to make a very difficult choice, either eat or heat or heat or eat, or sometimes even coming to a clinic, they have to make a big decision, like a spending 10 pounds to come to a clinic. That's they can support their family for 1 or 2 days. So in that, sometimes they refuse to have like a decline to have that one. Then we provide other options. For in one example, what we did was we simply provided a whistle so that at least they can whistle and alert their nearby neighbors. So sometimes we need to think outside of the box, then we can find a better solution as well. Next one, please. So technology point of view, that as I said, that online assessment tool, we are using that tool called like online website called like a study on the feet, on your feet. So that's coming. And hydration cup, we are trialing it for last 2 months in a couple of care homes. So it has a sensor in a cup, so it will measure how much they are drinking. If they are not drinking for a significant number of time, it will send an alert to the carer so that they can go back. If they tip over the water, again it will send an alert so it can identify that one. So the care homes, in the first feedback, they said it significantly improved that nutrition point of view and hydration point of view, and it's making significant improvement, avoiding confusion and other things. Then we are trialing a well-being sensor. So it's it will make it as a stick diagram, and it will regularly monitor people. It will also give about like a heart rate, temperature, breathing rate, as well as like any falls. Also, it will immediately send alert. So one of the recent feedback came is like they use in that care home, they used it in a person in a like end of life. So they were able to support them well, and they were able to spend that last few valuable hours in a peaceful time, or like with they were able to manage it remotely and support them immediately. And Magic Notes, that is our AI minute taking tool, as well as it will with concern, when we do the assessment, we can switch on, so it will observe all the conversation and it will automatically convert into notes. And we have like a false template. When whatever answers they give, it will automatically fit into that one, so it saves time and makes our assessment and decision making much quicker, so that we can do extra assessment rather than writing. So it will be all ready. And we have a smart tech house. So we have not only false equipments, there are various other sensors. So people either come in person to the tech house and trial various things, or if they're unable to come, they can check online. They can browse that thing and find what's interesting and other things. And we also use the Power BI a lot to analyze various uh, data and other things. And we make like a data-driven initiative so that we can precisely target the correct area and other things. Next one, please. So this is a sample video of the tech house. Yes, please. Like one more click. Yeah. So it will go one room by room. If you click that icon, it will elaborate what does that mean, like what are the equipments available, similar equipments, what might be the cost, where they can buy, and everything it will give. So just an one example. Next one, please. Raj, we can move next one, please. Yeah. Right. How we are doing? In 2020, when I joined 2022, we had the second highest false rate after taking all that multi-pronged approach and providing the training and uplifting staff skills and everything. We now falls are reducing. Now we move to the 26th place. So that's a significant improvement in a short term. The bold decision we made, and that making that changes. Next one, please. So we had like a CQC inspection. They highly appreciated the effort we are putting in the false prevention, how much improvement it's making, and how much it's positively impacting the people of Sunderland and improving that quality of life. Next one, please. So I have to really thank Sunderland Council for recognizing the work and providing that award, as well as I was in last year, I was invited to Buckingham Garden Party. So I have to really thank Sunderland Council for providing me the opportunity and providing all the support and other things. Next one, please. This is the last slide, but this is not the very important slide. Next one, please. So these are the people behind our success. These are the people after training took that, implemented in their practice, and Frontline, they are providing the service and making real changes. I have to thank each and every one of them for their. This is few of the people, everyone. So there are some physios there, occupational therapists there, nurses there, physio assistants there, like ILOs, independent living officers there, some care home staffs, our supported living staff, one of the social worker there. So everyone. So we recognize their success. We also provide backup support to. I provide them like a feedback and other things to achieve their standard. Once they achieve the standard, we provide that certificate and we celebrate their success as well. Next one, please. Thank you everyone for listening. I hope it's useful. Then we can come out, and if you like to ask any question, I will try to answer as much as possible.
Thank you, Pradeep. That was really excellent.
Thank you.
I didn't know if there are around 400 reasons for falls, and fall is not a diagnosis and it's a symptom. It's a lot of information that's new to me, and I'm very proud that I'm doing already 72% of the assessment. And after this presentation, I may think that I will reach that 100%. But
You.
now I open the floor for our guests here. And if anyone has got any question, please raise your hand or put it in the chat, please. Has anyone got any questions?
There seems to be a lot of questions about the training itself that's in the chat at the moment. Lots of people seem to be asking about that, how they can actually get onto the training that Pradeep's providing.
Oh, Karen, is it from Gateshead? Hello, Karen.
Hi.
It's nice to see you and hear you. This is like Karen is one of my colleague who worked in Gateshead. That's the place I worked and honed my skills for 18 years. And Karen was one of my line manager near to my 18th year. So thank you for your support, Karen.
Thank you, Pradeep. That was really great.
Thank you.
There are some questions, Pradeep. My technology skill is not helping me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying my best. Just give me a moment.
So it's about training. Yeah. So that's what that's like a simple. If I like, it's very difficult to cover that 5-6 hours training in a like half an hour presentation. So, but I give most of the clues. So biggest worry is people get frightened how I can do. But if you all do our own SWOT analysis, you can. I am not bluffing you, anyone. So we all are doing false assessment by making small changes we can do. Of course, if I run any more classes during the weekends or anything, I will update you in that HCPC WhatsApp group or something like that, and I can update you as well. Yes.
Okay. There are some questions, Pradeep. Yes. We have 12 minutes. I will read them. Yeah. You can answer as much as you can.
Yes, please.
Okay. Cognition was an exclusion criteria. How do we manage falls in people with dementia, please?
Right. Okay. So its cognition means like it depends upon how much they can follow the command and practice in a group exercises safely. So, for example, in Sunderland, there is a specific organization called like a part of Age UK Essence Service. They specifically provide support exercise classes and group support groups for people with dementia. So if they're unable to participate in that high level like a Otega group, then we will signpost them to the correct group, and they will get the correct support.
Okay. I'll go on to the next question.
Yeah.
What are your tips for those waiting for diagnosis that have high false risk due to dizziness and double vision?
So that's what, like, once we identify what's causing the dizziness, for example, that the new NICE guidelines is asked about like vestibular issues. Even if we ask about some few vestibular issues questions, if we identify, then we can signpost them directly to the ENT services or vestibular specialist service. Then if you really interested, then you can like there are plenty of courses for vestibular issues, like training courses. Then if you prefer, then you can do some training, and you can also gain that skill, and you can support that one. Double vision, again, if it's a double vision, we need to identify why. If it's because of vision one, then I would signpost them to the optician or ophthalmologist to find out what is the reason, how we can support them.
Okay, the next question, Pradeep. What do you mean by well-being sensors? Is it false alarm sensors or something else? Thanks.
It looks like almost like a fire, like our fire alarm, what we fix it at home, but it has a infrared sensor, so it constantly monitor people. Then it will create like a stick to anonymize people to privacy. It will make it as a stick diagram, because it's a IRR sensor. It's not taking any photos or something like that. So it can automatically assess for breathing rate, respiratory rate, heart rate, and temperature. So it can pick up early warning signs, and it can alert people. And if they have a fall, you can set a parameter. If for example, if they're going to the toilet and if they're not returning in a certain time, then it will send an alert to the staff. So that type of things. Yeah.
Thank you, Pradeep. So the next question, how do you engage people not known to the council, for example?
So that's what we are making. Every contact counts. We are training every people. So anyone can do an assessment. I will give for example, we trained recently one of our ILO, independent living officer. Their role technically is, if you request a referral for a mobility aid assessment, if it's a simple one, they will go and provide quick assessment and provide mobility aid. That's their main role. So they came for the training. This person received a referral from a GP practice for an outdoor mobility aid. They went to the assessment. They noticed multiple tablets on the floor. Then they identify this is because of their poor vision. Sometimes the tablets are falling down and they're unable to pick up. Then they notice they're having multiple falls. They brought that all the medication list and came back to me. Then we spoke to the GP practice and think about providing like a Dorset box or Normed box to make it easy. The other thing, when we do the medication assessment review, we noticed this person was taking 3 antihypertensive medication, 2 at the maximum dose, 1 at the half level. What happened is, whenever she is opening, if the tablet is falling down, she's not taking. So when they review that one, they thought the blood pressure is not under control and giving more medication. By providing this advice, we are able to advise and send back to the GP, so that we are able to cut unnecessarily polypharmacy and put plan in place to minimize, so that the more people you train, they can identify within their capacity identify the problems, then they can come back and report to the correct people. So we can reach a lot and make significant difference.
Thank you, Pradeep. The next one, how does the smart home works in falls prevention, especially for people living with dementia?
So, for example, it's a smart how, like for example, we can train Alexa to regularly give one to encourage to take tablets or drink regular fluids, that type of things, as well as the loved ones can speak to them directly. And or even in the recently we are trialing one, the loved ones can record message, mom, it's time for you to take some food or something like that. So Alexa speaks in their own language, so it's easy for them to understand rather than Alexa speaking its own voice. So we can also do various things. Yeah.
Thank you. The next one, can you please explain how hydration cups help in care home settings?
So one of the recent project in Northern Ireland noticed that 30% of the people in care home are dehydrated, that leads to various falls and other various issues. So by giving the provider then they know how much they are drinking. So that's what, if they are not drinking enough quantity within a given time, that a sensor will send an alarm to the carers, so they can come back and check whether they're drinking, so they can put a fluid plan in place and they can regularly monitor and encourage intentional checks and encourage them to drink well, so that because they are drinking well, hydration is improving, so blood pressure will be stable, so it will avoid partial hypotension and other things in various ways. Yeah.
Thank you. Next question. Do you ask referrer to use Steady on Your Feet self-assessment platform to identify the risk of falls before referring to fall service?
There are some, for example, that steady on the feet are used by 6 or 7 areas. In what I noticed in the website itself, the falls clinic, when they are on the waiting list itself, they are signposting them to use that one, identify and put plan in place. So we are only going to get next month, so we have to try. So various ways, and yeah.
Thank you. The next question, how long would you allow for a comprehensive falls assessment?
So that's what, as I said already, we are already doing 75% of the assessment. Yeah. So whatever the time takes, that's the same time going to take. It's maybe take 5 or 10 minutes extra. The more we practice, our time comes down. When I initially started, it's like a 15 years ago, it took me 40 minutes or something like that. Once I did my SWOT analysis and I understand my strength and I upskilled, most of the time I can do my assessment in the maximum of 30 minutes. I use more time to make the shared decision making and explaining to the people what is the problem, how they can manage that one.
Thank you, Pradeep. The next question, following on the question regarding cognitive impairment, do you address falls prevention to the carers and families, educating how them can better support the faller?
Yes. Yeah, especially I will like a care home point of view, for example, if it's if they're living in the community and the family are struggling, we can signpost them to the carer service, as well as SN service provides specific support for the carers and coping strategies and other things. As well as when I do the thing, I explain why this is happening, why they are keep on asking the same question again and again. And so that most of the things, when we explain to them, once the family members understood why they are keep on repeating or asking that one, it makes them understand easily. Then we are signposting to the correct service, voluntary services and other things to provide extra support. And when they go there, they can get shared experience from the other lived experience people and other carers, so that will enhance them. In care homes, we encourage them to use that intentional rounding charts and change that plan. For example, in the daytime, trying to engage in that meaningful activities, or engaging them in the communal area, so that indirectly they can monitor, so that we'll ask them to put like a regular intentional check. So because we need to anticipate the needs, because they cannot say I need water or something like that, or like need to go to the toilet. So we'll put that anticipating that anticipatory practice, and we're putting a regular fluid charts and the toilet regime. By that we can minimize the risk of falling and keep them healthy and well-being.
The additional question with that, with regards to learning disabilities, is this also within your exclusion criteria?
So the exercise classes running, as I said, it's running in the community. It's not by a physiotherapist or a healthcare professional. It's run by the exercise providers who are like who have that only that exercise therapy knowledge. So that's what we have to safeguard the people coming for the exercise classes. We have the criteria. So that's what, if they don't fit into that level of criteria, we will signpost to the correct team. For example, if this is dementia, we'll send them to the dementia group. If they have a poor, severely compromised vision, site service run specific exercise classes for that people. So we'll signpost them. Learning disability, if it's a severe level, if they are unable to participate in the community exercise classes, then we'll signpost them to the correct exercise that group. So they all get that some form of support and help.
We have two more questions, Pradeep. Sorry, we are running a bit over the time. What are the commonly used outcome measures in falls assessment?
I don't know, like from what point of view they're asking for. For example, in our exercise classes, we use that time up and go test, sit to stand, 30-second sit to stands test, 4-point balance test, and fear of fall, like a FESI questionnaire. If I like a 6 minute time up and go test, lots of people are using even in the community to see how much after that follow up and exercises, how much using that one. So I use Trinity as well as some like depends upon what's your team requirement, what they are using. You can analyze, and there are various one. Not everything fits. One size fits all. Depends upon what type of people we are seeing. We have to choose the correct. Depends upon the need. Yeah.
The last question: how easy was it for the trust to agree to use Magic App to do the notes?
So this is used in the council. So our staff who works in the council, either the social workers or therapist, adult social therapist, we use that Magic Notes. Some are like one of the GP practice, they have their own frailty nurses. They use a different app. So it depends upon who is your service provider, what application they prefer. It depends upon that. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pradeep.
You're welcome.
Those are the questions. And we have recorded this session, so it will be available through CSP. So if any physios are here, if you would like to join CSP, please do join. If you are a BAME personnel, you can join the BAME network as well. And thank you so much for this evening, for joining us. And thank you so much, Pradeep, for your lovely presentation and also answering our questions. Thank you so much.
It was nice meeting you all and sharing my experience. I hope it empowered lots of people and give confidence to do the false assessment and enhance your skill. Thank you.